Hi, this is Kevin Thomas, and welcome to the At Home Film Festival. This week, we're going to take a look at Hollywood heartthrobs from yesteryear, but we're not going to look at these super famous ones like Clark Gable or Laurence Olivier or James Dean or Marlon Brando or Elvis. I'm going to take a look at some actors that had great talent, were very good looking, but for some reason, they haven't left the legacy that these have. They were famous in their time, but they are not names that we could just say and know who they are, like Rudolph Valentino. So let's take a look at some actors that just don't seem to have kept the stamina of having a long career in the eye of us filmgoers. I'm sticking to pre-1970 so I could do another show later. So the youngest person on our list is John Gavin here. Look how handsome he is. Not only does Julie Andrews swoon, but she sings a song called Baby Faced at his great appearance. This movie, by the way, Thoroughly Modern Millie, is very hard to find because it actually is kind of dated and racist. They have a white woman playing an Asian. For some reason, we're allowed to watch Breakfast at Tiffany's. And there's two Asians that are so stereotypical. But if you watch the stage version, they kind of get rid of all of that. It's super fun. But John Gavin was at the height of his career during this movie. But do you know who he is? No, a lot of people don't. And look at that beautiful face. And he's so talented. His career really should have taken off and skyrocketed in 1959 when he was the love interest in Imitation of Life with Lana Turner. This movie did great. He was wonderful in it. It's more of a story about women, but he was the love interest. I don't know why his career didn't go flying after this. It flew like temporarily, because the next year, 1960, he made 4 movies, and many of those are memorable. 1960, he was in Psycho. We all know that movie, but do we remember John Gavin from that movie? I guess not. We remember Anthony Perkins, we remember Janet Leigh, we even kind of remember Vera Miles there, but this movie was wonderful and well-received, and John Gavin was in it. Same year, he was in Midnight Lace, the last thriller made by Doris Day. Look how handsome he is. There he is. This movie is often on TCM. You should catch it there like I always do. It's very wonderful. He is super appealing. He's got that really strong, rugged chin. He's got beautiful eyes. And he actually lived to be very old and always had a career acting. But for some reason, he is not the star that all these other actors are. Then, oh my God, 1960 also brought us Spartacus, which you could watch on Amazon Prime right now. I mean, this movie has been known for its homoerotic scenes. And look at him there. He was just hanging out with Laurence Olivier and hardly any clothing. He's so sexy in this movie. Why is he not a big star? I don't know. 4 great movies in 1960, and look at him. Don't you think this is heartthrob material? I do. Next on our list is Rod Taylor. He also had a very long career, but he was never the big name star like a Paul Newman. But his looks are so fantastic that Tippi Hedren in The Birds here went all the way to visit him from San Francisco to Bodega Bay because he's so hot. Oh, you could rent this movie for a few dollars on most platforms, but oh, look at that face. And he's a very good actor. People don't realize he's actually Australian, but he does a great American accent. And then, oh, I also love him in Sunday in New York with Jane Fonda. Once again, his opening scenes attract the women. In The Birds, Tippi Hedren followed him, and now we have Jane Fonda literally getting stuck to him. This movie is so fun of his that I always look forward to seeing it on TCM, but you can also rent it for a few dollars on other platform, so you should do it. Rod was also good in a lot of movies with great ensembles, like in 1963, the same year of The Birds, he did this movie, The VIPs. And a couple years early in the late 50s, he was in Separate Tables, which was a big Oscar contender, including winner, and yet his career is not like that of a Paul Newman. I don't know why. Even a couple of movies he made with Doris Day didn't catapult him to stardom, so I don't know why Rod Taylor was not the big success he should be. Then we have Robert Taylor, not to be mixed up with Rod. He was back in the 30s as a great actor. Maybe he's not as remembered as much because he died at age 52, but he was the romantic lead in so many of my favorite movies, like Camille. Oh, gotta watch this movie. Greta was up for an Oscar. He's so handsome. He has the most beautiful eyelashes, that strong, beautiful face. Actually, of all the people on this list, he actually was on the top 10 box office for 3 years in a row in the 30s. But why don't we know who he is today? Who out there knows Robert Taylor? See, like Clark Gable's remembered forever. This guy, no. He even played the romantic lead in Waterloo Bridge with Vivien Leigh. Oh, this is another one. Every time it's on TV, I watch it. I love this movie. It's so nice. Oh, wow. It's a tearjerker too. But oh, he's a strong character. He's a strong man. This should have been something that helped lead him to be remembered forever. The one I'm going to leave you with to watch, if you have the Criterion Channel, is Undercurrent, where he stars with Katharine Hepburn. He usually plays the romantic lead, which he does here, but he actually might be a murderer. Maybe. Or it's just a mystery unfolding. It's paranoia. It's very reminiscent of Rebecca, which is a great movie, but Katharine Hepburn is also wonderful in this movie. Oh, it's a nail-biter. For a 1940s film, it seemed ahead of its time in having the leading star possibly be the villain! Oh! Then we have Robert Montgomery. Do you ever hear of him? Well, tidbit, he is the father of Elizabeth Montgomery, who played Samantha Stevens on Bewitched. But this actor managed to get 2 Oscar nominations in his career, and he was never like a big box office draw. But one of his great movies, his first nomination, Night Must Fall. Oh, it's another one where he could be the killer. Oh, this often, of course, is on TCM. It's often on the Criterion Channel. But he has done such other wonderful things. And he could do comedy, too. Like the comedy Mr. and Mrs. Smith, not to be mixed up with the recent TV series or the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie film. This movie from the 40s is about a divorcing couple. You could find it on YouTube for free to watch. And it's the only comedy made by Alfred Hitchcock, and Robert Taylor was so good in that. But the Robert Taylor movie I don't think should be missed this month is Here Comes Mr. Jordan, which you could find on the Criterion Channel. This is his other Oscar nomination, and it has been remade by Warren Beatty as Heaven Can Wait. So a lot of you might know that. So here's the original source material, but it's funny, it's romantic, he's handsome, he's a great lead. So why is he not a name that we all know besides Bewitched's dad? Another name long forgotten is John Garfield, who was up for 2 Oscars in his career, but we don't know who he is now. But look, he has that dark, smoldery, sexy looks. And between 1946 and 1947, he made 6 movies, mostly memorable ones, like Humoresque Here, which stars Joan Crawford. Oh, and then often on TCM, and it would cost a few dollars to rent, the original The Postman Always Rings Twice. Oh, this movie is so good. And look at him there. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Oh, wait. We're going to see Lana Turner's first scene in this movie. She looks good too. Oh, he could tell that. His big film is Body and Soul, where he plays a boxer, and he was up for an Oscar, but he's on the take. So people are giving him money to lose fights. Oh, this movie is so good. By the way, you could find it on the Roku channel. One reason you probably don't know this name very well is he died at age 39. And he played all these fit, healthy men, and he died of a heart attack. So it just goes to show we never know when our time is up. But, I wish he would be remembered more. Like James Dean died young, and we all know who he is to this day. So I don't know why John Garfield wasn't as remembered. So let's do it now. Our final actor is Ramon Navarro. You do not know who he is, do you? I didn't think so. He made a mark on Hollywood. He did a movie with Greta Garbo. I guess many people act with Greta Garbo. Mata Hari. And although he came from the silent film era, he actually carried over into sound films and was able to even sing. Okay, I'm not in love with the song, but anyway, he had a credible voice. But one reason that he probably didn't have a longer career is he was gay, and he wouldn't hide it. They tried to get him to pair up with a woman to pretend he had a woman. He wouldn't do it. So instead of getting the great roles he should have, he just took smaller parts. But His big role that we should all watch is he was the original Ben-Hur. This movie, by the way, you could find on YouTube, and many scenes have been colorized, but it's a 1925 silent film. So in those days, you had to act out with your face and hands and express all your emotions, and he was so good in this. Alas, his life ended tragically, where he was killed by two brothers who thought there was a bunch of money in his house, and they played up his gayness and seduced him and then killed him, only to find out there wasn't the money that they thought. Such a tragic story. But anyway, he's a really good actor. We should honor him. That's our show of the week. Hopefully you share and enjoyed it. And I will see you next week. In the future, I will do a part 2 with more modern actors that really have not become household names. Who do you suggest I do? Let me know in comments below. Until then, thanks for tuning in, and I will enjoy these movies with or without you. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, look, I got applause.